Hello everyone, and welcome to the Soar, Indulge, and Lounge Reviews, evaluation of United Polaris Business Class transatlantic day flight from London to Denver on their 787-9 Dreamliner. In this video, I will take you along as we fly in business class on one of America's largest airlines during a long day flight and determine whether it is still worth it to finish off a European trip or if it's just an added luxury. If you enjoyed the video, like it and hit the subscribe button. I aim to give you tips for travel so your future trips are hassle-free. You can also watch my videos to cure wanderlust or for entertainment. By hitting the like and subscribe button, I will be able to make more videos in the future. We will look at everything from the ground experience, one of, if not the most pleasant United Club lounges in the world, the seat and all its amenities, the meal service, and food without pre-order, and how United handles delays. Please feel free to put any suggestions of airlines I should try in the comments, and feel free to give me feedback so I can make the videos even better. United Polaris business class seats are in a staggered 1-2-1 configuration. The cabin is divided into the main 8-row cabin in the front of the aircraft, and a smaller 4-row mini cabin after the main boarding door but before premium economy. Seats are staggered from row to row, so with window seats the even rows are farther from the window and near the aisle, and the odd rows are closer to the windows and offer a great deal of privacy. Seats in the even rows are facing away from each other. These seats are suitable for solo travelers who like the middle seats. In the odd rows, the seats are next to each other with a partition that can be raised or lowered. These seats are perfect for couples. From the last trip, I learned the hard way to avoid seat 5L or 5A, if possible, because it is missing a window, making it nearly impossible to see out of the remaining window when seated upright. The 48 open-seat Polaris seats throughout the two cabins measure 6 feet 6 inches long when fully reclined and have a width of about 20 inches. The odd-numbered seats are narrow at the shoulders, and the even-rowed seats are narrow at the feet, so pick according to your sleep preferences. Today, the flight does not offer pre-orders, so meal orders were taken from the front to back. Everyone was asked for their first and second choice. If you can get seats near the front, I recommend this to have the best chance of getting your first choice, but in the end, it is about what the airline has on board. Today's flight will see us fly over the UK, Ireland, near but not over Greenland, Canada, the Great Lakes, Chicago, and Nebraska before touching down in the mile-high city of Denver. We cruised at altitudes of 34, 35, 37, 38, 39, and 40,000 feet at an average speed of 530 miles an hour. We flew around 5,000 miles due to the slightly circuitous route we took for favorable wind patterns. The duration after our delay was 10 hours 47 minutes, almost an hour and 15 minutes longer than the initial scheduled duration. United uses the newest terminal at London Heathrow, Terminal 2, the Queen's Terminal. Level 5 is the check-in level when departing from London in business class. United offers a business class Fastrack line here to make the check-in process seamless. In addition to a quick check-in experience, business class passengers are granted access to a fast-track security, which I found a huge advantage in reducing the wait time by about half to 3/4 of the original regular screening checkpoint's wait time. This significant benefit adds to a relatively simple airport experience here at Heathrow. Once through security, there are many shops for emergency last-minute shopping, with everything from gift shops to clothing stores to really nice dine-in options, including Gordon Ramsay's burger restaurant. United flights depart from Terminal 2B, so you must take a long underground passage to get to the departure gates. Leave 10 minutes for this. Also, the United Club is located in 2B. Next, I made my way to the relatively new United Club here at Heathrow. All United and other Star Alliance business class or first class passengers are admitted, along with United Gold and Star Alliance Gold members. Though labeled as a United Club, you will find amenities similar to those of their signature Polaris business class lounges. Still, a few features are not included, including a la carte dining and napping rooms. This lounge is laid out well, with rest areas and tables in the center, buffets on either end, a bar in the middle on one side, and the bathrooms and shower suites on the other. It was not crowded, but it was not that empty. I had to wait 30 minutes for a shower suite to become available, so leave time for this if it is important to you. There was also a full-service bar for an alcoholic beverage or a cocktail before your flight. I went over to the buffet to check out the food options, and I will tell you I was not disappointed. There was a custom carbonated water machine, a custom coffee machine, fruit, cookies, dessert, a custom cheese and deli station, and about 8 or 9 quality hot food options, and a sauce station. After eating my lunch, my shower suite was finally ready, so let's check it out. This was well worth the wait. This was amazing after a flight from Dublin and lots of walking during the connection here at Heathrow. There were so many amenities in these shower suites, which made me feel fresh when I got to the plane. Shampoo, conditioner, and body wash were all high quality, and the shower temperature is easy to control and has many different modes as well. It was time to head over to gate B34 for boarding. As shown here, the Queen's Terminal, or T2, is very modern with great lighting and modern gates. Our plane was a 4-year-old 787-9 Dreamliner with the new Eva Blue livery. I personally love this new livery. It represents United's idea of strength and solidarity. When it first rolled out, I was very skeptical, but I have fallen in love with it and now like it more than the older Continental-style livery. The boarding process was organized and orderly, and before I knew it, we were walking down the jet bridge to a poster of a royal guard saying a sincere goodbye. What a nice touch. The cabin was presented masterfully, with blue mood lighting that complemented the cabin's color spectacularly. I found my seat, and it was beautifully presented with the duvet, the day blanket, gray this time, a nice touch that fit the daytime vibe well, the cooling gel pillow, and the plush Saks Fifth Avenue pillow. Just like the last flight over to London, the headphones were nestled on the cubby door, with this time 2 water bottles inside. The usual fantastic flight agenda was on the screen with a warm welcome. The seat is very comfortable all around and very soft. The menu is presented on the table next to the seat. The amount of detail that goes into the presentation of the cabin when you board is extensive, and it makes you feel taken care of and comfortable. As I looked at the menu, today's choices for lunch were a beef fillet, a chicken breast, a fillet of halibut, and a red vegetable curry as the vegan option. There was a Caesar salad with smoked salmon or a tomato and mozzarella dish for appetizers. For the pre-arrival meal, you could choose between the infamous Wellington burger that gets much criticism or spiced tomato rigatoni pasta. For dessert, there was a choice between the famous ice cream sundae or a red berry cheesecake or just a simple cheese plate. Overall, the menu is presented aesthetically and thoughtfully, making you look forward to the meals. If hypothetically United added more appetizer options for the pre-arrival meal, it would make a big difference and put them on the level of the top 10 business class products. The wine list is decent. Again, if United improved this and added some mocktails and cocktails, it could put them on par with the best of the best. The seat controls, as usual, are easy to use and intuitive for almost anyone. The roller wheel adjusts the seat, and there are a few different preset positions that you can try out, as well as a button to turn on your light and the Do Not Disturb button. The remote for the in-flight entertainment and many power outlets are conveniently located next to the seat. The remote itself is intuitive and easy to use. Also, a reading light is conveniently positioned next to the seat for reading or working during lights out time. There is also a lamp that you can turn on for additional lighting if needed. There are 5 settings for the windows shown here, giving customers flexibility but not great for light-sensitive individuals sometimes. The control can also be a nesting place for germs due to many people touching it. The Dreamliner window shades again are a fantastic feature of the 787. And next to us was one of United's rare Boeing 777-300ER planes that had just come in from San Francisco. The Therabody amenity kit was placed next to the seat. It contains all the basics and more. It is one of, if not the best, in the US carriers. If United made this even better hypothetically, that would be another thing that could not just put them in the top 10 business classes, not in the US, not in Europe, not in Asia, but in the world. Also, slippers are available upon request, which I highly recommend if you want to take your shoes off, kick back, and relax, so you aren't seen as awkward walking to the lavatory barefoot. This way, you have something to wear, and they're very comfortable. You can even keep them after your flight as an excellent way to remember a fantastic business class flight. Another thing United could offer hypothetically is more food options between meal services, as other airlines do this, and it adds comfort on longer flights. This is a 9-hour flight, so you can quickly go to the galley and grab a snack, but on their more extended flights or longer ones, upwards of 13 hours or more, they could have better mid-flight options like dine-on-demand snacks and more. A fully dine-on-demand meal would be an exciting feature for a US airline, and I think it would serve United well. The blue mood lighting stayed on pretty much the entire flight despite lights-out hours. It kept me in a relaxed mode and complemented the cabin's colors exceptionally well. Now it was time to push back and leave, or so we thought. The engine stirred as we sat next to the Virgin Atlantic A350-1000. We soon started taxiing toward the runway, but then began to turn back towards the terminal. Shortly after that, we got an announcement from the captain that a baggage container from an entirely different aircraft had been loaded onto our plane, and we needed to go back to the gate to unload this luggage container. All in all, this delay cost us around 50 minutes and was avoidable. But in the world of travel, stuff like this happens and you have to be ready for it. On the other hand, United could have handled this delay much better. On past flights, United has been very good about delays and apologized profusely. The captain and the flight attendants were unapologetic and did not offer any condolences for this frankly avoidable and silly delay. Maybe it was just a one-off experience, but maybe this is how United handles situations like this. It is still very off-putting, and for first-time customers, this could cost United lots of business, because this is something that other airlines do better, and even though it may have been one flight or one situation, it still has big impacts for the customer experience. We pushed back, started our engines up again, and taxied towards the runway. But just when you thought we were about to get in the air, we had my first ever rejected takeoff, which ended up adding about 30 minutes to the delay. Our second try was successful, and I saw beautiful views of the airport and the UK hillside as we climbed to our initial cruise altitude of 34,000 feet. Our second try was successful, and I saw beautiful views of the airport and the UK hillside as we climbed to our initial cruise altitude of 34,000 feet. I took the time to check out United's in-flight entertainment system, which is good and doesn't get the credit it deserves. The comprehensive flight map has many details, including local time at the destination to help you monitor your body clock, speed, altitude, headwind or tailwind with the direction and speed of the winds, temperature at both location and where you're headed to, and even more. Let's start with movies. United's in-flight entertainment system, whether a domestic flight or a 16-hour international flight, is comprehensive, and there are over 200 movies that cover almost every genre. I watched 6 movies on this flight and always had things to watch. It is a fantastic system, allowing these long flights to fly by. There are also 100 TV shows that United offers. Most have at least one season, so you're not stuck with 1 or 2 episodes and you can really get into the show and binge watch. Also, several music recordings play on a playlist. You can't pick songs individually, but that's part of the fun. You can guess or stick around for the songs you want to listen to. Everything from pop to 80s rock to hip hop and even classical are available for the entirety of the flight. Next is United's relax mode. Unlike anything I've seen on other airlines, you can pick an audio track and a soothing visual to relax, sleep, or meditate if you so choose. There are also tons of podcasts about many different things you will always enjoy if you're a podcast person. There are also many live concert recordings for those who like to listen to live music. And finally, there are games. Yes, you heard me. Those are games to help you keep your brain sharp on these long flights. They are tough, and you can lose all track of time. The United in-flight entertainment system is one of my favorites among all the airlines I've flown and should be ranked higher globally. Next, I went to the lavatory. It's basically an economy bathroom with a few extra amenities. Again, if United wanted to go above and beyond, they could clean the bathrooms a little bit better. It's not a requirement, but it would be a nice luxury to have that you will have on some of the other excellent business class carriers. Hot towels are passed out before each meal service on United, which is an excellent thought and goes a long way to make customers happy and feel like the crew are doing their best to make the flight enjoyable. As always with United, I love the warm nuts and drink service at the meal's start. It really eases you into it. The warm nuts are such a nice touch. It makes me feel like the crew is personalizing every aspect of the meal, and although it's just a thing of warm nuts, again, it goes a long way in my mind. For this flight, with regards to drinks, I went with ginger ale. United carries Segram's ginger ale, which is less intense and more soothing than others, such as Canada Dry. I like its stomach-soothing aspect. This would be a great drink option for people who get motion sickness. United has a split screen feature on their IFE system for when you're watching a movie. This is great because you can keep an eye on your flight and the movie on the same screen. I got pictures of the beautiful skies around us as the meal service began. The appetizer, as usual, is one of my favorite features of United's new and improved service. The Caesar salad was delicious and well done with great dressing and croutons with Parmesan shavings, which made the meal for me on this flight. The pesto tomato mozzarella dish was also delicious and flavorful. United does these appetizers better than some of their main courses in my opinion. United's main courses are something that have been in the works for years and still need a little bit of improvement to reach the top level. My beef tenderloin fillet was my first choice, and again, like the flight to London, the meat was slightly overcooked but still very tasty. I am also an avid steak person, so I may have higher expectations than I should. One thing United does well is the side of whatever meal they choose. They did a great job of picking things that complement the main dish, whether it be fish, chicken, steak, or more different meat options, and their veggie dishes. In this case, there were potatoes and carrots with spinach. The one thing I did not prefer about this meal was the side of spinach. Whether it be fried or cooked in a certain way, it was very oily and greasy and not to my liking. I like spinach to either be cream spinach or not cooked at all, but I'm sure some people like this. As for dessert, United has one of the best ice cream sundaes in the sky, and this time I did not hesitate to ask for all the toppings, including the almonds. It is a calorie mountain, but you're paying for business class, you should indulge and enjoy it. The meal service took around 2 hours on both my flights. I think it could be faster, and especially for people wanting to sleep on the flight over to London. If they were to make the meal service a bit faster, it would increase customer satisfaction. Waiting between courses was sometimes frustrating, like the 40-minute gap between the appetizer and the entree. Overall, the crew was great about clearing trays and their friendly interactions with the customers. At this time in the flight, I opened up the amenity kit and sorted into what I would use now and what I would use before landing. The socks are a nice touch and can remind you of how great your United flight was for months or even years if you take good care of them after your flight. I appreciate the face lotions and potions because you can get dehydrated on these long flights. Your skin can get rather dry and pale due to the altitude and fatigue. The nice touch can make you feel refreshed upon landing without changing your clothes. This is me putting the seat into bed mode, and overall it is fast, efficient, and intuitive. One of my favorite perks of United Polaris Business Class is that you can request a mattress pad, which makes a big difference. Here's why. Although the seat is very comfy, it is not required. It does smooth out the gap where the seat folds down for bed mode. It can make for a really nice sleep. It is comfortable too. It is not a thin little sheet you get on some airlines. It is a thick, plush mattress pad. The seat in bed mode with just the mattress pad looks very comfortable, and I will tell you, it is. United's bedding is the best in the sky, and I don't say this lightly because I sometimes think it's better than my bedding at home. Saks Fifth Avenue, in my opinion, is one of the best partnerships United has made in the last decade. It sets them apart from any other business class carrier. Due to the multitude of bedding items, though, United could benefit passengers and make it easier to get into bed with a turn-down service. Many other airlines do this, making the bed feel more personalized. It's another touch that goes a long way in your experience. In bed mode, the seat is very comfortable, and the foot cubby is more significant than many other airlines I've flown on. Considering that United has packed in as many business class seats as possible, the design was very well thought out and is impressive. The seat is lacking in the lounging department, if you just want to watch movies but not be in a fully flat position having to look up at the screen all the time. I slept for 2 to 3 hours, which is all you really need on a transatlantic westbound flight to minimize jet lag once you arrive. The sights outside were beautiful, with many different landscapes below and cloud formations all over the place. About an hour before landing, the flight attendants came around offering pre-landing meals with the infamous Wellington burger or rigatoni pasta. This is one area where United could improve if they wanted to get into the top-tier business class airlines. I went for the Wellington burger because it had been a while since I'd been in the States, and this felt like an excellent welcome home gift at the time. Then again, it's not really a burger. It's more of just meat put inside a bun and the cheese slapped in the middle. I don't mean to be rude here, but it is just as infamous as it sounds, and I probably should have gone to the pasta, to be honest with you. United really needs to replace this with something else because it's gotten bad reviews from almost everyone. I went with orange juice and Coke to indulge one last time, and overall, the portion size again is relatively small for a 10-hour flight, only getting 2 meals. If they had better options for mid-flight snacks, including ones that could be given on demand, that would be great. But then again, they already have a great selection in the galley, including leftover desserts and a bunch of tasty pre-packaged snacks. We began our descent into the Denver evening sky around an hour and a half late. It was very nostalgic to see our airport from above, as the largest airport in terms of area in the United States and second in the world. We landed and started our long taxi toward our gate A27. One thing I dislike about United's Denver International Airport arrivals, specifically on international flights, is the new A-gate expansion has been completed. You could get unlucky and get a gate like A17 with around a 2-mile walk to immigration, which is not for the faint of heart. Significant expansion plans for Denver Airport are in the future, include getting rid of this process and making an entirely new international terminal, but that is still unforeseeable at the time. It is something Denver Airport really needs to do better. Adding automated passport control is needed now, as the lines can be upwards of 45 minutes during peak times, but that's travel. After immigration, you pick up your bags at one of 3 carousels and take them through inspection. About 1 of 20 bags get selected for random inspection. After that, you're free to go into the terminal. Although, if you have a connecting flight, you must recheck your bags, go through security again, get back on the train, and go back all the way you came, which is really annoying. The airport was designed not as an international arrival connection airport and needs to be figured out in the future. Maybe there is some way to keep the bags and the international arrivals customs checkpoint in the concourses and not have to get on the train to go back to the terminal. Overall, United Polaris Business Class is a solid product. Still, the 1.5 hour delay, handled without apology, some standoffish crew, and a series of minor disappointments on the flight made it insufficient to justify being worth the money. With a reasonable price, it can be worth it for some on the way to London to sleep because United does well at that part of the business class offering. But overall, given the price difference of up to $5,000 per ticket, I would go for the premium economy on United, which I will try to review sometime in the future. Also, their Economy Plus product, which has more legroom and is near the front of the plane, is excellent on the 787. And for 9 hours flights, this is where you don't need to sleep, is great. Your justification will ultimately depend on your preferences, how much you travel, and your budget. For me, it was an irresistible round-trip fare for only slightly more than a premium economy round trip. I probably caught it on the right day. That wraps up today's review of United Airlines Westward Transatlantic Polaris Business Class product. Again, if you liked the video, please hit that like button and subscribe. It means a lot to me. With your simple mouse click, I can make more videos in the future. If you have any ideas for me, please drop them in the comments. I'll review them when I can. See you guys in the next one. Have a good day.